I'm Maddie Kaplan, and I am a 12th grader here at the King's Academy, and I do have a couple quick questions for you.
Okay.
So you explained to me earlier about the volitional part aspect of people not believing in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a quick question to ask you. What were you, and what category did you put yourself in before you did believe in Christ?
Oh, it's tough. Because anyone who's in the volitional category, people who don't want it to be true regardless, or people who have an emotional response to Christians, so they have an emotional or a volitional resistance. Almost all of us who have those two will voice it as a rational objection, right? Mm-hmm. But honestly, because I'm an evidentialist, I'm somebody who works with evidence, I just thought the claim was, I was such a committed naturalist. In other words, I believed that everything in the universe could be explained by natural means: space, time, matter, physics, chemistry. I was so committed to that I just thought it was stupid to step off of naturalism for an explanation. So I think that's where I was stuck, is that I did not believe you would ever kind of step down into some supernatural explanation when my naturalism served me so well for so many years.
Well, you seem like a critical thinker type of person, and it's obvious that you like evidence to prove your point. So what would you say to those type of people who are volitional, who say that it's not true, but you have the evidence proving otherwise?
Well, okay, first of all, I would ask the question, look, and if somebody is committed to holding their position regardless of the evidence, that's a different kind of person. And I have a strategy for those kind of folks too. So if there's somebody who's open to the evidence, it's like, I'm not quite sure, I could be persuaded. Tell me what's the case for this? How good is the evidence for this? Well, that's great. If you meet someone like that, you're like going, woohoo, I get to share the evidence. But you're probably hardly going to meet people like that. A lot of times you're going to meet people who are just dogmatic about their position. And what you have to do, honestly, in that situation is two things. You have to, and this is going to sound lame, okay, because if we're evidence people, we want to be able to make a case, but here they are. They're not lame, they're powerful. Pray and model. Pray and model. You're praying and modeling for people who are way over on the edge, who are anti-theists, or they're just committed to their position, because you're praying, number one, that you could move them toward a position of being open to the evidence. And that, unfortunately, is something you can't accomplish. God does that. God draws and then allows you to share. So to get that first movement, you're going to have to pray them into that position. Also, you want to model Christ for them, so that, look, the gospel is offensive enough. It is. It's asking people, it's telling people that, number one, you are broken and you need fixing. And you need to admit that you're broken and need fixed. That's a very offensive message. Also, pretty much everything that the culture has taught you morally is probably upside down. And that's another offensive message for a lot of people. So what you're asking is really an offensive move in their position. Don't become more offensive. Don't make it more offensive by being a jerk. So really it's about modeling who Jesus is for as long as I can and praying until I see there's some movement. And of course, I still share the evidence with these folks because I know they have a memory. And when God does move them, they'll remember everything we've talked about. So I still, but I also have realistic expectations because I realize that prayer and modeling are the foundations that move people. So I have more realistic expectations.
Okay, I love the evidence just like you, so that makes perfect sense to me. But thank you for your time today.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking.
Thank you.